This is the plaintiff, Lucina Watara, and his wife, Leandra. Leandra says her husband was enrolled in the defendant's driving school because he wanted to get a driver's license. On the day of his road test, the defendant left her husband there without a car to drive, and he was forced to enroll in another school at the last minute so he could use their car for the test. When he went back to the defendant to complain and ask for a refund, he laughed at them. Oh, well. We'll see who has the last laugh now because they're suing for the return of their $80 enrollment fee. This is the defendant, Yisrael Hanna. He says he provided the service he was contracted for, and the plaintiff was the one who messed things up. He showed up at the testing site at the wrong time and then had to wait in a long line to take the test. His son waited with him with a car for as long as he could, but unfortunately they had other appointments. He offered to meet him there at another time for the test. The plaintiff refused, so here they are. He's accused of driving a student crazy. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $180 for missed work.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff's husband was enrolled in the defendant's driving school, and the day of the driving test, the defendant was a no-show. Now, the defendant says the plaintiff messed things up by showing up at the wrong time. It's the case of driving Miss Crazy.
Thank you, Douglas. Lucina Watara?
Yes.
Watara.
Okay. How do I say it?
Watara, like what?
Watara.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. Why did I think that? That was me. That was my eyeballs. Sorry, Watara. I thought it was a Q. Versus Golden Keys Driving School, Yisrael Hanna?
Yes.
Okay. You are suing him for $80, the amount that you paid for a road test.
Yes.
That you want returned to you, and you are counterclaiming against them $180 because they're wasting 4 hours of your driving time, and you make $45 an hour as a driving instructor. Okay, what's going on?
Well, I researched the school back in December because my husband needed to get his pass his driving class.
Okay.
Driving
Is
test.
your husband Lucina?
Yes.
Okay.
Lucina. So we went down there, we paid for driving classes, and we paid for a road test.
How much did you pay in total?
$150 plus the $45 for a practice and an extra $80 for a road test previously.
Okay.
So those went with had a few hiccups, but it was fine. Mm-hmm. Our first road test was at 8 o'clock in the morning. He showed up at 7, and he went to his first road test. Unfortunately, he failed.
What went wrong, do you think?
I did my parallel parking.
Oh, that's what it was, parallel parking?
Parallel parking.
I'll kill you every time. I am the queen of parallel parking. I could park on a nickel. Okay. All right. So I really am. You really have to. It's an amazing skill. All right. So he fails the first time, and then what happens?
They scheduled a road test for him in February, but I found another road test when I did it myself for January 29th.
Okay,
so,
and that's when you wanted it?
That's when
you wanted him to get his license? Because what?
As soon as possible.
You're sick of driving him?
No.
How long have you been married?
A year and 5 months.
You're sick of driving him?
No, we want to start. He wants to start doing Uber.
Yeah.
And more
oh my God!
For
He's
family.
failed 2 driving tests. Wait, beware!
The driving part is fine. It's the parking part. He doesn't have to park in Uber.
Oh, that's true.
So,
well, maybe though, to let me out, he might have to park, and I'm still in the car by definition. All right. So okay. So go on.
So what I did was
So who scheduled the January 29th test? You or them?
I did.
Okay. At what time?
At 8 o'clock, 8:30.
So what happens?
Like a few weeks later, he was supposed to be there an hour in advance, like previously. So like the previous road test. So he got there around 7:40. He was supposed to be there at 7:30. But there's supposed to be a 15 minutes grace period. But when he got there, he didn't see anybody. The place was closed.
There's a 15. Where did you get that official 15-minute grace period?
Well, when
you just run your life on a clock where you're always 15 minutes late because you figure that's what everybody will tolerate.
Well, no, it was.
All right, go on. So what'd you do when you get there and they're not there? What does he do?
Yeah, I tried to call the number the number, nobody answer. You go to your voicemail, and I wait in time. 7:50.
That's getting late. You got to get over to the testing place. So he goes to the testing place, and then what? But he needs their car to go to the testing place.
But he was thinking that maybe he missed them,
Right,
and
and that they were already there. And how did he get from where he was to the driving school?
He took a cab.
Okay, so now he takes another cab to the testing place, right?
Yeah.
And what happens?
They weren't there. He waited till about 8:45, 8:50, and he finally spoke to the instructor, the manager, and they said that he has to go find his
car,
his driving school. He could come back before 1 o'clock. He'll be able to take his test.
Okay. So then what does he do? He goes back and
He takes a cab back to the driving school. Nobody was there, but then he remembered that he actually works at the gym down the block from us. So he went to the gym. He got his phone number. He called
They gave
him.
out his phone number at the gym?
He's persuasive, I guess.
He's not that persuasive. And I would never give out somebody's phone number without their permission. But so then you call him?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I call him, I
By
tell
this
him.
time, what time is it?
Around 9.
Right, 9.
9 in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay. So what does he do? Does he?
He told me to come back in the office. He wanna meet me there.
So you go to his office at 9, and are you available to go on the road test at 9?
No.
So what do? You send your son?
Yes.
Okay, with a company car?
Yes.
All right, so they go over there, but now he's late for the appointment.
Right.
Why weren't you guys available for an 8:30 appointment?
Because DMV always tell you you're supposed to come around 8:30. This is what happened. He called me at 9:30 in the morning on my phone. I was already in the car with another client doing a lesson. I said, well, why are you calling me at 9:30? He said, well, I'm here for my exam. I said, but you're supposed to be at 8:45 because my son comes at 8:45 and pick everybody up at one time. He said, well, no, I'm supposed to be at 7 o'clock. I said, who told you 7 o'clock in the morning?
Does anybody have the appointment in writing?
I actually have it in my phone.
Okay, you look for it in your phone and.
And I just have, yeah. It's supposed to be for 8:30.
I'm sorry, for what day?
For 8:30 on the...
Okay, you don't need to look for it. He admits he has it. So you know it's 8:30.
The 29th, right.
So why would he be there at 8:45 if his appointment is at 8:30?
Because DMV tells everybody 8:30. What you do is everybody meets at one particular time. It's 8:45. You're never, ever seen a DMV at 8:30. You have to wait in line. This is how it works in New York City. You wait in line with about 30, 40 other cars. As long as you're there in the morning before, because you have the morning shift in the afternoon. 8:30, I have everybody come to my store, 8:45. You leave
Okay,
from
but you
there
can understand how a
8:45.
guy who has an appointment for 8:30 thinks that, oh, I don't know, he has an appointment for 8:30.
No, it wouldn't even matter because
I mean, he got there at 7:30. You guys aren't there. He
Right.
goes to the place where you guys should be already, and you're not. And then because the appointment's at 8:30, because basically what you're saying is, we're always late because they're always late, so deal with it. Okay. And then, so what ends up, I don't even need this because he admits that it's at 8:30. All right, and then, so when does he, you're at the gym?
no, I'm teaching other people how to drive.
Oh, right, no, they gave him, can you believe the gym gave out your number?
You know what I mean? That's what I thought about. So I got to speak to them people.
To the gym? Yeah, that's
not good.
outrageous. They shouldn't be
That
giving out your
supposed to
private
happen,
number.
actually.
Anyway, but they do, and so he calls you, and then you tell him to do what?
Wait in front of the store. I said, stay right there. Don't
Your
move.
driving
Right.
business, okay. So he goes there and he waits, and then what happens?
Then once he gets there, I said, what are you doing here at 9:30? He said, I'm here. He called at 9:30. Exactly. I should have left it in my phone. He called at 9:30. I said, well, why you calling me so late? Because when I got out the car, I started laughing. I said, dude, what are you doing here? He said, no, I'm supposed to be at 7 o'clock. I said, no, you don't. My secretary tell everybody 8:45. That's the morning shift. 11:30, afternoon shift. I said, 8:45, you're supposed to be here. I said, so what was you doing here at 7 o'clock? Oh,
How did it work
'cause
the first time he took a driving test?
He came at 7 o'clock. We told him 7 o'clock.
On the first time he
The
took it?
first time around.
Why did you tell him 7 o'clock that time?
Because at 7 o'clock, we usually do 7 o'clock in the morning because we're really, really packed. Once the winter time comes, everything slows down.
Well, then, if he came at 7 o'clock the last time, why is it, and his appointment's at 8:30, what evidence do you have that you told him to be there at 8:45?
Oh, it's just my secretary.
Well, it's not even you, so that's
No, it's
complete
not me.
hearsay. How did
And
he
I
get
told
to the
him-
test that day?
My son took him.
And what happens at the test site?
The business instructor told the actual road test instructor manager told him that he has to be back by 1 p.m. So when they came...
Why? What happened?
Because he didn't have a car at 8:30.
Okay.
And then when it came around for him to take his test at around 12:30, his son decided that he wasn't going to be able to wait because he had another appointment that he had to be at for 1 o'clock. So he kicked him out the car, and he had to go frantically find somebody else to take the road test
You had to
with.
find like a random car. Did your son leave at 12:30 that day?
Definitely.
These people are asking for the $80 that they paid you for the use of the car for that day.
Right.
And you're refusing to give it to them.
Yes.
So who here has had a good experience at the DMV? Why is it such a hassle?
I feel like they're just overly busy, you know?
Do they have good intentions where they want to help?
No, I don't think so.
Really? You think people who work there don't want to help?
No.
Oh, that's so sad. That makes me sad, going inside the courtroom.
But when he went to the examiner, the supervisor told him, come back before 12 o'clock. So we was there before 12 o'clock. The supervisor wasn't even there. One of the examiners that was there.
You weren't even there.
No, I wasn't there because I
Where's
got
your
other
son to
stores.
testify to all this right now?
My son is working.
Well, then that's hearsay. I guess, which is interesting because your entire counterclaim is I have to be here instead of working. So they have to pay me $180. That's your
Yeah, they
counterclaim.
got me sitting here
but
doing nothing.
instead of sending your son, who's the one who could testify, you came yourself. I got an idea. Why don't you work, because apparently it's very important to you, and you send the guy with the actual knowledge of what happened. Because right here, right now, there's only one person who was in the room.
Right.
Okay. So
it said
according to
hearsay,
him,
she
what?
said.
By the way, you ended up. Let's short circuit this a little bit because I've read, you know, the complaint in this case, obviously. And what ends up happening is you go pay some other driving school to loan you their car for the test, right? And then you failed.
Yeah, because
That's
he was
terrible.
frustrated. He was frustrated. I understand. If it was me, I would be
You
very
need to just
frustrated.
take it. You need to take the day off. You need to take him. You need to pasarle la manito. You know, you need to just go like this to his hair and keep him calm and get him. That's what
I've
you need.
never seen him upset before. That day, he was very upset.
How long have you been married?
A year and
Give it time.
5 months.
In fact, actually, that's ridiculous. So you've been married a year and you've never seen him upset. All right, so let me see if I've got this straight then. How much money did you pay to file this case for $80?
$15.
$15. And I would like you to tell me why you filed the case.
I filed the case out of principle. They're very disrespectful, unprofessional, and
How
I
are they
didn't-
disrespectful?
Well, when my husband went back to tell them that he wanted his money back, they were like, oh, the African guy's here again. We can't understand what he's saying. And they admitted that to me over the phone, his secretary. Then when I spoke to him, he was like, well, I don't believe your husband even went to the road test. You know how husbands lie. And I was just like, no.
Oh, yeah, that's going to cost you a lot.
And then he told me that he'll just give us the car for another road test. And I said, I don't want to do business with you anymore. I just need my money back. And he refused.
And this is why I
We're
love
here.
small claims.
Now, can I speak for
Because
myself?
it is never about the money. It is always about the principle.
Yes.
I live for the moment where you respond to that.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Everything that she's saying, I never said. I have the best reviews in New York City as far as driving
Why aren't
schools.
you giving give me a legal defense to returning
Reason
the
why?
money?
Because they don't supposed to get their money back because her husband was there. We took him to the exam. My son sat in the line for 2 hours. DMV has the right to turn a person down. The instructor, the examiner that was there said, it's 11:45, let me call my boss. They called the boss said, tell him to come back after 1
You
o'clock.
seem to think that repeating yourself is what I need.
No, you want to
I
hear
know
the truth.
exactly
It's
what
the
the
truth.
No, it's the
That's it.
truth, and they don't deny anything you're saying. You're saying the
but she's
same
saying I'm
thing.
disrespectful.
I'm
I'm not
asking you
disrespectful.
why your son leaves him in a lurch and he can't take the test. But if he does, because he's got other things, it took too long, DMV, DMV, oh, that's great. Then return the guy's money, because part of the deal is that you're going to sit it out. And you didn't, so why wouldn't you return the guy's money?
Because the guy wasn't where he's supposed to be.
Really?
Simple.
Simple.
You can't get easier
He's
than that.
there at your place at the time he was the last time. He leaves to the place at the time of his appointment.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. He was supposed
You
to
know
be
what?
there.
You filed your lawsuit for $80. I'm going to order you to pay back the $80. I'm also going to order you to pay back every penny these people paid you at any point in time, because I feel like you not only violated the spirit of your contract with them, you violated the heart of your contract with them. And then you banked on them not having the intestinal fortitude to sue you for $80. And that worries me because it makes me wonder how many other people you do this to. So I'd like to send a message, loud and clear.
Send a message.
$355, verdict for the plaintiffs.
Well, the plaintiffs prevailed. Mr. Israel, you're coming out here smiling. I want to know why you're smiling. She just slapped you with a $355 judgment.
Business is business. You deal with these type of people all the time, so it's no big deal.
The judge thinks you really were taking advantage of them. That's the bottom line. She's
the
trying
best.
to give you a message. Don't do that again.
I'm the best in the business. Nobody's better than me,
You
so it
can
doesn't
say
matter.
it, but she doesn't believe that.
That's okay.
That's all right?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't make a living off of her.
Give him $355, okay? And he's laughing on his way out. You should be laughing too. You're getting $355. You're making money.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course. I think that he should learn his lesson, be a little bit much better at your job, including customer service and being honest and on time.
Well, good for you for filing the lawsuit.
Thank you. It's out
Now,
of principle.
Big thing is you still got to pass the test, right?
Passed it.
What? He did?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
Are you an Uber driver yet?
I'm new driver, and now I want to do a Uber.
Next week.
I start Uber.
Okay, as the judge said, good luck. Good luck.
you.
Thank you very much. Okay, you can sign a few documents. Harvey?
Okay, Doug, I mean, what the judge is essentially saying is there's a complete failure on the part of the defendant to perform under the contract, just like he's ripping him off. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.